Really appreciate. My name is Peace Asukwo, and I'm currently a software developer with IBM Ireland. And before I joined IBM Ireland, I've had a lot of different experience in technology, and I've worked as a teaching assistant with University of Limerick in Ireland. And I've also had an IT department with Save the Children International in Nigeria. I was also a tech alumni as part of US alumni program for women in technology. So I have a lot of experience going through this topic, and a lot of the experience that has taken me from the university which I graduated in Nigeria with Bachelor of Engineering, and I had my master's in Information and Network Security. All those experience is part of the things that makes me feel like it's better to share it and share some of the tips and some of the insights that get to support people that wants to really move their career from at the early stage of in technology. So I will be going on now. It's just like few slides that I have. And in general, what I'm looking at will be the 5 most important insights that has really helped me through in my career development. Because with my first degree in computer engineering, my master's in information and network security, and with my current job, which I have gone through a lot of experience in technology in the IT sector, both hardware and software development, and also support. I understand and I've seen a lot of things that goes on there, and I feel it's better to share it and use this channel that Anita Burke has provided to share this experience. So I'll be giving out 5 most important insights. This is my personal opinion. It has nothing to do with where I'm working, or it has nothing to do with IBM or Save the Children or University of Limerick or other experience that I'm working, other companies that I've worked with. So it's basically my own personal insights, what has really helped me. One of it is the passion for technology. So when I mean passion for technology, I'm really talking about the technology that you're waking up every day and being happy for what you're doing. So for those of us that are coming up early in this career, there are a lot of challenges on it. But the good part of it is that when you're happy doing whatever you're doing, everything in life has challenges. So the first thing that I pick out there is for you to have passion in it. In my own personal experience, I developed a passion for it by visiting the places. So when I visited one of the company, which were basically more into technology, I discovered that I enjoy every aspect of the view that I had there. I was so happy that I went in there, and that was ExxonMobil, where I did my internship. So it's really helped to build my passion for it. And when I went in, I didn't look into what is being paid. So when you develop your passion for a specific career, for a specific part in your life, it doesn't matter what you paid. It doesn't matter the time of the day, the location, or the environment that you're surrounded with. Because you have passion for it, you can do it and do it at any time. You take it as part of your hobby. You make it part of your life. You make it part of everything you do. And if you look at it now, we have technology in everything that we're doing. So if you're a woman that is really coming up and wants to go into technology, I strongly advise that the first thing you have to do is to have passion for it, to be passionate about what you're going to do. And the second part of it is believe in yourself. Passion alone will not take you, but you have to believe in yourself. You have to look at yourself and tell yourself you can do it. You have to wake up every day, irrespective of the challenges, even irrespective of the changes that you're seeing in technology. Tell yourself you can do it, that you're capable of it, and pick up the challenges, pick up the requirements, write it down, develop the process, the skill that you need to get through it. Every day that you're waking up, try to make sure that you list those things that will take you to where you want to be, and then believe in yourself that you can do it. Set your goals. Work on those goals. Work on on areas that you know you have your weakness. Identify them. Everyone has their weakness. Identify your weakness and work on it. And make mistake. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Make mistakes. Mistakes are part of life. But the problem is, if you don't learn from that, your mistakes. So I would strongly recommend that you learn from every mistake that you make and don't repeat it. Correct it and learn from it. And then turn all those mistakes into success. And you will see yourself walking into open doors in every way that you go. Why am I saying this? Because some of us get kind of like worried about things that will make us fail and forget that without failing, you will not succeed. Most of the greatest people that I've read about fail at a point in time. Some fail like several times, but they don't give up. So I strongly advise you this moment to believe in yourself. Don't worry too much about the things you cannot do. Rather, keep on working on the ones you can do and identify those areas that you need development and develop in it. You can't do it alone. That's why another part of it, the third insights that I'm giving you this moment, is that you should join or create a like-minded group. Join groups that will support you. There are a lot of channels like the meetup channels, there are community groups, there are associations, there are workshops, there are cultural exchange network events. Find some of them and join it. Go in there, express. Most of the best friends that we make are mostly coming up from those areas because they think they are the areas that you want to put yourself into. So if you want to go into the software, the hardware, if you want to go into, you want to specialize in security, networking, automation, in artificial intelligence, which area part that you want to, pick those groups. If you haven't started yet, you're thinking of how do I even get my WIEC or the first level certificate, get on, look at the channels that support that, look at online systems that support that. If there are none yet, set it up. Facebook has opened up an open community for us. Twitter, LinkedIn, they have opened up an open community. Open that community and you will see a lot of people that will join you and then develop it. And the next one that I'm going to bring up to us right now, which is the last but not the least that I'm going to discuss at this moment, is that you should learn and unlearn. I know I may be a little bit fast, but I will give a lot of time for discussion, questions, and answer. At this point, we're talking about learning and unlearning. Learning and unlearning really helps because, like I'm telling you about my experience of coming on and going to the hardware, the software, and then putting the two together and being able to come up with infrastructure and software that is being able to run on it. It's all about learning every day. Go online. There are a lot of resources online. Check online and get on, learn it. If you don't have online system, then use the classroom setting. Check around you. Is there any classroom setting that offers the kind of training that you want to learn? Go in and train and learn on it. If you don't have a classroom, then join a peer group. Even join a peer group or do a distance learning. If the kind of course that you want to study or the area that you want to go into in technology is not really closer to you, there are distance learning all online. there are distant learning that you could be able to key into and then learn and support yourself. Ask for a mentor. For some of the women that, some of us that have already come into the system or wants to come into it, they are what we call mentor. Anita Brock has also, Grace Surprise Celebrating Women in Technology also have mentors program, which you go in there. You can be a mentor, you can be a mentee, you can mentor someone at the same time, be also a mentee. So this platform is open for all of us. And you are not alone. We have a community of women. Like we're talking about, for me, I have that experience that tech women really brought out for me, because I was just on my little corner doing the little stuff that I was doing. But when tech women came up and I applied and went in there and I was selected, it's really, really great, that platform for women to come in together, women in technology, women that need motivation, women that need support, women that needs to be encouraged, that needs people to tap on their back and say, we are here to support you. So I strongly recommend that you do this. I might have gone a little bit very far, but I would like you to take note as I'm going. And I will go back and answer all the questions that you have. The last but not the least is volunteer. So when you go through this process, when you go through all this process that I have listed out here, having passion for the technology, the area, the field, the sector, or the units that you want to focus on, believing in yourself, joining that peer group, joining that community, and volunteering is the last one that I will really want to bring up to you. So volunteer. Start your volunteering from even your home, within your sisters and brothers, within your family, extended and close family. Teach them technology. Give them the little you know. Don't put it into yourself, because if you don't teach, you won't be able to learn also. So I strongly recommend start that volunteer with as small group as you can. It could be your friends. Tell them about the skill you know. Tell them about the knowledge that you've learned. Share it with them. Practice it with them. Practice make perfect. So let's take an example. You went on to study, maybe went online to learn Microsoft Offices, or you went on to learn programming like Python, Java, or C++, or JavaScript, or whichever. No matter how little it is, look for a group and volunteer and share that knowledge. And then that will help you to learn more and also support other people. Look locally, around you, in your local community. There are a lot of different groups. There are a lot of different meetups groups. There are a lot of different small groups of women in technology, or women, girls in technology, girls who coach. You can create yours. There are also an international community which you could go in and volunteer. The more you volunteer, you open yourself to networking, to learning, to also being able to position yourself in a position that you will be of very good help to other person. You won't know how little that you offer could really help someone else. So I strongly recommend that you go out and do that. There's also online community. There's one that I did when I didn't even get to know anything about tech women, sisters, Anita Brock, or any. I went online, and there's Nate's Hope Academy. I went online, I just saw it pop up, I registered, and I was so happy that the little that I shared, the little skill that I shared was good enough to be able to help a lot of people and the mentees that I was mentoring as at that time. And another important thing is, the more I did that, I was also able to get mentors that also mentors me, mentors that also support me. But the greatest mentor starts with yourself. It started with my inner self, waking up and telling myself, you can do it. Waking up and telling myself, no, you don't need to be wasting the whole day doing nothing. Tick the box. what is it expected of you? Oh, you have to study science in the high school, in the secondary school. I went in there, pick all the science courses, sit there at night, study very well, tick this box. You have to get your education sorted, go in, pick whatever that is needed, study. And the key that wrapped all those things is for you to pray and believe. Believe that God will guide you through. Pray every day you wake up. If you call it meditation, meditate. If you call it sitting in a quiet place to reflect on yourself, sit in a quiet place to reflect on yourself. You can call it any name that you want to. That allows you to bring out your inner self, not really depending on environment, on people, on someone anywhere, but first start with yourself. It's when you have built that self-confidence, when you build that trust of your own self, that's when you can now extend it. You can now go out and you see yourself manifesting. You see yourself evolving. You see yourself coming up with passing different hurdles every day. So today I'm giving you a challenge. Go back now and sit back to look at it. What is that is stopping you? Is it the name technology? I read a lot online on the internet about people saying, oh, you don't even need to have a 4 years degree to be able to get into this technology. So if you are that type of person that you don't have that 4 years tech experience, it's okay. There are a lot of online training that doesn't need 4 years, what do they call it, 4 years education system. So go in, take those courses. We have, even in IBM's employed people that don't even have to have all those 4 years experience, but all what you need is build your technical skill, build yourself, build your self-confidence, be able to sit back and look at where you have those gaps and close it. So I'm giving you this challenge today. Go out, write out what you really want to do. Write out where your challenges are and sit back every day to make sure that you feel it. If you need support, we have all those channels here. We have all those connections here. Anita Bork is here. Sisters are here. Tech Women's are here. And we have Net Hope Academic up there. There are a lot of them. IBM is also coming up, also have a program that even calling women that are already coming up with their early career, that wants to get into that early career. There's a program going on for that. And there are jobs everywhere for you. There are opportunities. You can grade yours. So I'm giving you this challenge today. Take it up and then update us in Sisters. Let us know what you have done and where are your challenges, and see how the community will be able to support and help you. So I'm going to open up very soon for question and answer. But before I open up for question and answer, I will just want to go back to where we have started from and reiterate it. We are all on professional insights to an early career development for women in technology. So as a woman in technology, or a woman that is aspiring to go into technology, we strongly recommend that you look into the system and let us know how we can support you more. So I'm going to leave this moment. Here is my LinkedIn profile. We can connect, and then we can share whatever experience that you want to share with us. And then I will leave this moment for us to move into a very quick question and answer at the moment.
And please, I think we forgot those poll questions. Do you want them to start now? No.
There is a poll question that we have. Actually, the question will be put up and you answer, and then we will follow up there.
So we have two parts of our polling question. So first, our launch the questions now. And do you see those questions now?
Yes, I've seen it here. So I believe all the participants are seeing the poll question at the moment. So the questions are just poll questions that we'll look at it and then we can talk about. Are you a woman in technology? So if you're a woman in technology, if you're a girl in technology, or you a woman in technology, choose yes or no. And what's your age range? So we know what's the age range that we have. Have you volunteered in technology before? So we could just like a very quick vote on that. Okay.
I think at this point, most attendees already answered your poll. So I will end.
So there's a second one.
So I will end the poll now, and we should get the results. Share results. Here we go. So now we should see the results for your questions.
Okay. Perfect. We have 100% women in technology. What are the rest? Wow, that's awesome. So yeah, we have a high turnaround on women from 25 to 34, and just a few that is above 24. That's perfect. That's really great. Okay.
Great. And
so we can close that.
Took technology training or courses.
Yeah, because from the look of things, we have the people that we have from, we don't have so many people that really volunteer that much, especially at the range of 15 to 24, which I think that's the stage that you should even do more. That's the stage that you should really like learn more, volunteer, share your experience, and fail earlier and then to rise very quickly. And I see we have a lot of 25 to 34 years old that are really like volunteering, which is really good. But I will recommend that you really put more interest in that. And for the training aspect of it, if you have US now, so for the training, it's your volunteer. For those that are rating their volunteer experience, it's really good, but I will recommend that you please put more effort into your training and also into your volunteering. So we'll be putting up the second poll question.
Okay, let's see. No, I don't want. It doesn't want me to share it.
You want me to? I can try to close it.
I don't want to relaunch.
Okay.
Okay, I seems to have issues with the second poll because it's not allowing me to, hold on, I know, sorry, now, here we go.
Okay.
Now it's the second poll.
Yeah, that comes up. So the second poll question is here. Overall, how could you rate this webinar? And if any, what could you recommend to be improved? So when we're talking about rating, like how does it impact? What did you think about it? Do you think it's something you could really like to see more of? You could just give us If it's good enough, you put there very good. If not, then you put there good. Then you could, if it needs improvement, you could put there that it needs improvement. Like there are things that needs to be improved. And the second question is what could you recommend to be improved? So if you said it needs improvement, what could you recommend to be improved? Is it the way it's being presented? Is it the contents? Was the content not good enough? Or is it the medium, which is the network that we're using? So you could just answer that. While you're answering the poll question, I will be answering some of the questions that have come in here.
So these are the results that we already.
Perfect. Oh, that's great. We really have like 67% good, and 1% need improvement, and we have that 1% need improvement is just it's on the content and presentation.
So that's a great feedback, and I think that's why we have also these tech talks. So to give the opportunity, and also it's a safe place to present on an interesting topic that the presenter is passionate about, and I think it's good to have that feedback, and that can move you actually forward to improve.
Yeah. That's perfect. So we'll be going into the question and answer section. Can you share more about interesting program at IBM? There are a lot of interesting program in IBM. It depends on which area that you really want to. So if you go in there, there are a lot of opportunity that is coming up there. And one of the program that I feel it's really interesting is the program that IBM have, which is the learning platform. It's a learning platform that has all the courses that IBMs are interested in and also useful in the global setting. So if you go in there, you'll be able to see a lot of those courses there, and you could take any of them, and you will be able to have badges on what you've really studied. So are you talking about the organization Tech Women? Sadly, they only accept people from Africa, Central and Middle East. Yes, they do accept people from that section, but the program is also open to everyone to join the community. Like you could be able to share on the network, you could be able to attend the webinar, and there are a lot of online activities that goes on which you register free. So it's the aspect of really hosting is the area that is applicable to this region. But generally you have the online programs that goes on there that you could be able to easily join and attend a webinar if you want to. So I would strongly recommend that you use that and attend it. So we have anonymous saying like, thank you please for giving us this info. I kind of new to Anita Box, so I could love to learn about Sisters. I know you mentioned about IBM that they accept people with little experience, but I have a question. What other company accepts people with little experience? I will say most of the tech companies are doing that. All what you need to do, you just have to study and get your technical skill relevant to each company, to the company that you want to really go into. And if you impress them with your skills and what you've done, there are a lot of open source community. Join the open source and contribute in the open source, and that way you'll be able to showcase your skill. We have the platform that is the GitHub platform, which is open source. You can rate your projects, you can do your personal projects, and then use that to showcase your skill. With that, you should be able to put yourself in a position that if such opportunity arises, you will be able to be called upon. So I would strongly recommend that you key into that, you use that and grow your skill, and definitely find opportunity to join. And there are a lot of free materials that you could use to be able to train yourself on that and apply, show what you've done by opening up this GitHub platform, by developing, doing personal projects, doing your own single projects and showcase. And that will really give you opportunity to. So I think we answered all the questions. Aliska, so I hope we have answered your question. We look forward to hosting and giving more opportunity to answer questions like this and share our experience. So thank you very much for joining us. Since we don't have any question at the moment anymore.
Thank you, Peace, for your presentation and for the passion you give your presentation with. I think it was very appreciated, and I hope some of your tips resonated with some of our attendees. And oh, there's one hand.
Okay.
Somebody's raising hand. I'm not sure if you can please write your question as in a chat. Gabriela wrote, "Thank you so much. I appreciate it." If you can unmute yourself, if somebody wants to speak, I believe you can unmute yourself. Or if you cannot, just please write your question or comment in the chat, or also the Q&A section.
Okay, is there any question? Oh, okay. Anonymous, okay, so I've seen the question. There's another question that comes in now. How to volunteer? Anyway, I just could read it to make sense a little. How do volunteering if there are no events in your city? Okay, there is one attendee here. It's just like we don't have the names coming up here. We only have it as anonymous. I will say like I said, volunteering if there are no events in your city. There was no events that I went out to do in my city, but I volunteered using the online system, and I went to Nature Hope Academy. I just saw it popped up, and I went on there and I saw that they were looking for volunteers to help in a certain area, and I did that. And like I said, volunteering, you could start your volunteering with, you can create your own events. You can start first from your own community. You can develop, teach yourself, because volunteering, you don't really need to get, it's volunteering, you're doing it for free. So you just put up your time and great things and bring the groups together. And also there are a lot of support. If you are able to prove to different communities that you're really doing that type of stuff that you could want to see. Like if you are looking for a community to educate women in technology or land or share skills or share knowledge, then you could really start it and then replicate like what we have now, Technovation, which also creates that platform, and you can copy it and start it in your own community and link up with the wider body, like the sisters. You can start a sisters group in your community and then bring up peoples and link it up with the body that you're really looking at. So I will say that way you can start volunteering if there are no events in your city. you can create one. We have our Meetup is an open source platform. You can go in there and you can go in there and create an event of the type that you feel is not in your community. And we have Sister, what do you think about sponsor versus mentors? How can I motivate on having a sponsor? Well, there's a difference between sponsor and mentors. When you're talking about sponsors are those people that pays you to do something. They gives you some resources and tell you go in to do something. So they could sponsor you to go in for training. So they give you a scholarship and say, okay, go in for training. But mentors are those people that work with you day by day, that works with you through your journey, that guides you, that gives you some guidance, there's some shoulder to fall back to, that advise you as you're growing in your part. So I hope that answered your question. And there we have another anonymous that said, what hard skill have you found to be most valuable in your recent career? I will say all hard skills are valuable, but you have to look at the area that you are. I have had a lot of hard skill, but any area that you are, any units that you are, you have to have a skill that really match with what you're doing. So I will say, I will ask first, which area is your interest in? If your interest is in the hardware, then you start with things like A+. You start with things like going into learn things on networking, or learn things on circuit design and electronics. Depends specifically, depend first on which area that you really want to put yourself into. But if you're going into software development, so you need to first look at it, which part did you want to? Do you want to start with things like JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Pythons, PHP, or did you want to move into the artificial intelligence aspect of it? We should go into Python and go into machine languages and all this one. So that differs. So I won't be able to say this is the specific one that you need to. But if you're going through the hardware, you want to do the networking, you want to go into the system administration aspect of it or hardware aspect of it, I will say you start first with things like A+, and then move gradually into the area that you want. Like Microsoft has things that leads you to Microsoft Certified Systems Engineer, Cisco, Oracles, all those are there. So I would strongly recommend you go in and check which area did you want to go into and then pick it. But if you want to be a software developer, like a pure software developer, then you could go in and start first learning the basic of JavaScript, Java, C++, Java, Python, and things like PHP, and so on. But for me, I started my software development with CSS and PHP, and HTMLs. That was where I started to like, oh, so you could just put a .html and write something, add image, and it becomes something. So that's really like makes me feel okay. I can bring it back into the Cisco, Oracle, Microsoft, which I have already had. So it depends on where you'll be starting. I think we probably will be going out of time soon. So I hope that answered. There's a last question that is coming in from Alyssa. What are doing in daily basics at IBM? Oh, well, that's a different kind of stuff, but as a software developer in security aspects, what we do is development. You develop software, you write software every morning, every day, and you come up with ideas. And so for me, I would say go on as an early career developer, work on yourself, develop the skill that you need to be able to go into the area that you want, and keep on learning every day. So I think we have, so in IBM, we do a lot of software, we have a lot of things that we're doing. As a software developer, what you do is you develop software. You write different languages, depending on any language that matches the requirement that you want to, the solution that you want to achieve. So that's what we do.
And I see your battery is low.
Yeah.
It's perfect timing as we're toward the end of our presentation.
Yes.
One more question. I hope your power.
Anyone no question? There is one more question coming in. Which
question.
technologies? Joshua, I don't understand which technology, like which technology you want to. Could you put the question properly? Like which technology could you like to learn, or which technology do we use in IBM, or which of them? Or is it the technology you want to use to develop your skill? If you could put the question properly, that will be very good to help us to be able to answer your question properly.
He says, are you using? Which technologies are you using?
Okay, which technology we're using in IBM, or which technology? What are you doing in Delhi? Is it, or which technology do I use as a tech woman? I think she has something there. Are you using? Which technology are you using? For me, it depends on what I want to achieve. Like, it depends on what I am doing. Like I told you, like I said, I have that skill, like, okay, I did my Cisco certification. I'm a Cisco associate, a Microsoft certified system engineer, an Oracle certified professional. So it depends on which technology that wants to come in and what I'm doing every day. So I move from different roles to different roles. I do different things at different time. And if I have to go into the software with Python, with JavaScript, with C++, Oracle, with C++, or do I want to really go into the database aspect integration? So that's the way it works, but on a daily basis, it keeps changing. And currently I'm doing a personal project, which I'm using Python on big data analysis. And that should use Pythons and then integrate it with different platform that she wants to, and use it in doing analysis on data. So I don't know if that's answer your question, but at the moment, Python is really giving us a lot of those peaceful mind that we needed, kind of like writing little scripts and then being able to do a lot of work. And that's one of the area that I really find very interesting. But it depends on to what you want to do. So I would strongly recommend, like, you look at it, where do you want to go into? And what did you want to do, and keep learning. And I learn every day. I study every day. I was just having a discussion with my tech leader, and we're like, oh, please, you keep studying. I say, yes, because that's what is needed for us to be able to fill the gaps, for us to be able to stay current in this changing technology. So I strongly recommend that you go into learn that. So it depends on what you want. And if you're looking at IBM, I will strongly advise that you look at which area that you really want to go into. If you want to go into the artificial intelligence, the cloud area, or you want to go into the security, or you want to just go into the machine learning. So, but all in all, I will recommend you learn Python, JavaScript, Java, and then if you want to go into DevOps, that's a different part entirely.